solstice, it's Late Night Special!
Yeah!
Tonight's guests, mixed martial arts fighter Journey Newson.
Woo!
We'll have that week's funniest comedian Ben Harkins.
Woo!
Musical guest poet surprise. House band The Species. And your hosts, Jay Flewelling and Hannah Kim.
Hello, welcome to Late Night Special. Who's excited for the show?
Woo!
I'm so pleased to be the lead host tonight and my co-host. Give it up for Hannah Kim.
Yay!
I'm honored to be here with you.
I'm honored to be here with you and both of us wearing such amazing blazers.
Yeah, give it up for our blazers.
Thank you.
Big fan of blazers here.
Yeah. Bill has blazer envy. Well, so Hannah, are you keeping up with the news?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, so hard.
are you?
Yeah.
I'm unconvinced.
No one believes you.
There's so many things going on. I think we just need to dive right into this
Let's do
monologue.
it,
All right.
yeah.
So, well, according to the International Journal of Cancer, women who regularly use hair dye could increase the risk of breast cancer by 60%.
Oh my
This is
God.
true. And in an ironic twist, nipple hair dye increases the risk of head cancer. It's a switch.
Like most drunk uncles in the world, Bill O'Reilly made a regrettable post this Thanksgiving.
Dear God.
The dog's eyes say, help, and Bill's eyes say, this dog fucks. Yeah!
Stop.
Bill.
Yikes.
Well, famous Las Vegas shock magician Chris Angel is in the news after his reported that his 5-year-old son's cancer has returned, which goes to show you that it takes a good magician to make something go away and a great magician to make it reappear.
We're going to hell for that
I
one.
didn't write that.
I
didn't
tried
write
to
that.
cut that, but they didn't listen. Okay. A new restaurant has opened in a Malaysian airport that only serves the same food that's available on the plane. The restaurant promises to have just run out of whatever it is you wanted.
Yeah, just right away. It was the last.
Sorry.
Well, a man attacked on the London Bridge last week. There was like an attack. Did you hear about this?
Yeah,
So on the
crazy.
London Bridge, a man was attacking people, and he was apprehended in part by a man wielding a 5-foot narwhal tusk. Now,
hero.
police could not identify him, but bystanders overheard him say, "Call me Ishmael."
Book joke.
Book joke. Moby
Book
Dick.
joke?
Moby Dick. Okay.
Literary.
Just like reading.
Yeah, no one reads. No one reads. It's fine. It's fine.
At a press conference yesterday, President Trump complained about the state of America's plumbing, saying people are flushing the toilet 10 times, 15 times. If you're flushing that many times, maybe it's your diet?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Disgusting.
Try a salad.
What a little
Disgusting.
pig. What a little pig. Well, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler. Any Ted Wheeler fans in the house? As it should be. Okay.
That's pretty much any room in Portland.
Well, the Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler's campaign manager has stepped down to take a job with Nike. Which makes sense because both jobs involve running away from things.
Yeah, fuck Ted Wheeler.
Yeah.
Fuck Nike. In Los Angeles, a new Michael Jackson musical will blame his sex abuse allegations on glove-shaped aliens who visited Gary, Indiana, and fed on virgin boy blood.
That's all true.
This is all true.
Real
This is all
thing.
true.
Real thing happening.
The role of the glove will be a big career move for Thing from the Addams Family.
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
He's been
congratulations
waiting for
to
that.
that.
He's been waiting for
Yeah.
Well, an aquarium in Tennessee is using the shocks from an electric eel to power the Christmas tree in the lobby without complaint. But the octopus keeps bitching about holding up the Hanukkah candles. God!
Well, that's
God,
straight.
hold on straight. Hey, this is Late Night Special! Oh my God.
Bum, bum.
We have such a great show tonight. So many things. We have. I am so jazzed. We have a UFC fighter. Journey Newsom is here. Who is excited about this? He's a professional fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited?
Yes.
We also have Willamette Week's funniest person, Ben Harkins, going to do some stand-up for us tonight. The Willamette Week is a notable organization, and they just don't say anything for anything, okay?
Not unless you pay them, no.
Yeah. Also, there's an impeachment going on. Yeah. Bill, what's going on with the impeachment?
Well, Nancy Pelosi had a press conference on Thursday and said, we're going to move forward with these articles of impeachment. I think they just took the report from the Intelligence Committee and gave it to the Judiciary Committee in the past 24 hours. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Also, Rudy Giuliani's in Kiev right now. So that's fun.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's in Ukraine. He's meeting with people. He's meeting with shady-ass people. And it's like, no one can stop me because I'm Rudy G. I don't know.
If I was accused of doing something shady in Ukraine, I would not go to Ukraine.
Because you're sensible.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a man who like butt dials everybody. Seriously, there's stories on Twitter like people who found his cell phone number, just random people will text him and he will text them back. Like, it's like, what are you thinking?
It's bleak.
It's
Yeah.
bleak. But
Bleak.
go, Nancy Pelosi, go. We're cheering you on. Well, what's going on with you, Hannah?
Well, the biggest thing for me right now is I made a zine.
What?
This zine
Yes.
right here? Everyone applaud.
Thank you. For those of you who don't know what a zine is, it's short for magazine. It's just like a self-published DIY punk thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very punk, so yeah, and I made it basically about how a lot of my dynamics and relationships with men have made me feel crazy, relatable. So yeah, that's what it's about.
And so you made this zine. It's called I Will Be Your Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And you're selling them.
I am selling them.
And they're $80?
Yeah, maybe in like my MoMA retrospective, but currently they're $7, and I have some after if you want to buy one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you made a
Yeah.
zine. What else is going on?
Oh, did you watch the Mulan trailer?
I did. Who else watched the Mulan trailer? Mulan is a Shiro,
Shiro.
#1, and then in the live action, she's like 1,000% Shiro.
Yeah, they play like an orchestral version of Reflections, and I immediately started crying. Yeah.
It looks so badass, and there's like some Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon stuff going on. I love it. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I saw Knives Out. Anyone see Knives Out?
Yeah, everyone hates movies,
Hates
apparently.
movies, doesn't read. That's fine. Well, Knives Out, it's a whodunit, Daniel Craig, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. You could, hey, be proud you watched Knives Out. Yeah, it started off really good. It came out on Thanksgiving Day. Spoiler alert, whoever you think it is, they did it. Like, that's it. Like, the
Wow.
red herring is like, that's it. Like,
What the hell? Spoiler?
yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I was so disappointed because it was like, it's not him because it looks like him or her, but it was them.
Or her?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was, yeah. But movies, Thanksgiving. Well, what did you do for Thanksgiving?
I actually saw a movie.
What movie?
I
Knives
saw-
Out?
No, I
Oh,
did
okay.
not see that, and now I won't because you spoiled it.
Okay,
but,
good. That's what you get.
I saw Best in Show.
Ooh.
That was
The Christopher Guest movie?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just came out. No.
Wow.
No, like I saw it at the Academy Theater.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love the Academy Theater. That's
Yeah.
the last second-run theater in Portland.
Oh, is it?
I mean, I want to say that.
Okay. You can't just say
If you want to say it, it's true.
You can't just do that.
Well, like the Laurelhurst is gone, the Baghdad is
true.
gone.
Yeah.
Portland, we're disappearing.
How was your Thanksgiving? What did you do?
It was great. I went to the hot springs.
Nice.
And I bullied my way into the party tub. It's one of my skills of just like,
Yeah.
are you done yet? Looks like you're done. Bagby, thank you for shouting out. Yeah, Bagby. Anyone else been to Bagby Hot Springs? Yeah. Brighton Bush is the better one, but it costs money. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we at least avoided some awkward conversations, you know what I mean? Like, sounds like we were just able to, like, hang out and do some friend
I
stuff.
mean, a lot of times with Thanksgiving, people have to tolerate, begrudgingly, conservative conversations with
Yeah.
their family. And everybody kind of knows how we feel. We're a liberal show, we're liberal theater. but we thought that we would give some airtime, just in the sense of equality for, the other side of things, and the uncles of the world.
Yeah.
So coming to Late Night Special, give it up for Larry, everyone's favorite uncle! Larry, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're a hugger, okay.
Oh, he's a hugger.
Okay,
Okay. Larry, thank you so much. Everyone's favorite uncle. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. Wow, it's bright. Merry Christmas, Jay, Hannah.
Thank you.
I want to say Happy Hanukkah, Bill.
L'chaim.
Thanks for having me. This
Yeah,
is great.
yeah, it's so great. Well, we want to thank you. I mean, we've been told that you spent Thanksgiving with some of your progressive family, and we just wanted to see how that was for you, and just see how your perspective.
Sure, I'd love to. It was a beautiful evening. I made my classic candied yams. My nephew and his new husband made the stuffing, and my sister cooked the turkey in one of those green egg things.
Wait, hold on. You just kind of breezed over the fact that your nephew has a husband. Yeah, and I don't want to generalize, but it just seems like something that someone like you would have a negative opinion about.
I understand, Hannah. It's based on my appearance, it might be easy to assume that I'm somehow intolerant or bigoted. But let me tell you, the only thing that's big about me are the hugs I give the refugees we welcome into our home around the holiday.
Wow. I mean, despite that horrible pun, that was just such a heartwarming statement. I mean, welcoming refugees into your house. And I mean, I don't want to patronize you, but it just seems like, uncles are kind of the classic right-wing instigators at the Thanksgiving table. And,
that's why we actually booked you. We thought you'd go off on a rant about Epstein or Hillary's emails, or we prepared a bunch of jokes to kind of make
lock
fun
her
of
up.
you.
I mean, that's what.
Well, fair enough, but it is awful sweet that you guys were thinking of me, especially during the holidays. But I've got to admit, uncles have been getting a bad rap over the past few years. And here I am, even-keeled, just trying to mend our tarnished reputation. Look, I live by a few simple rules, okay? Love one another, no matter race, creed, religion, gender, sexual orientation. Oh, none of that matters, right?
Yeah.
We're all one human race, just spinning around on this crazy flat Earth of ours.
Oh, wait. Did you just say flat Earth? Did you say that?
Yeah, well, we all got to put our differences aside and get along on the only flat Earth we have.
Okay,
And
all right.
take care
There
of
it is.
the turtle
This is
we
it.
have spinning
Uncles
through the universe, you know?
of the America.
God damn it, Jay. There's a lot I can tolerate, but I will not stand for this cockamamie horse hockey.
Okay.
All right? You're peddling far too others like me. We have sat in the dark, us flat earthers, fearing the ridicule of our peers and the internet, and I won't take it anymore.
Okay, I mean, Larry, there are photos, right? Like, astronauts have been to space.
Yeah, and the Earth is round.
Have you been to space,
I mean,
Hannah?
no.
Have you been to space,
No.
Jay? No? Well, then fucking read a book or something.
Oh, okay. Hey, everyone's favorite uncle, Larry! Wow.
See you at Christmas,
Yeah, we'll see you
Larry.
at Christmas, Larry. Oh my gosh.
That went exactly as planned.
I know. Cheers to
Cheers.
the round Earth.
Delicious.
Well, speaking of round Earths, I love music. Do you love music?
Nice
yeah.
segue.
Almost as much as I love how round our Earth is.
Yeah, I was thinking like records, CDs, listening to songs on repeat.
Oh yeah, loops.
Oh, announcement. I just got into Spotify. Is anyone into Spotify?
Wow.
It's amazing. I'm way behind, but it's amazing. I love it. I'm like,
Let me tell you about MySpace, Jay.
yeah. Friendster? Okay, so we have a band coming to the stage. They're amazing. A member of the band is also a member of the Species. So, ladies and gentlemen of Late Night Special Audience and watching at home, please give it up for Poet Surprise!
This one goes out to Uncle Larry. It was written before OK Boomer was a thing, but might have been prescient. Is this a lot louder than it was earlier? Should I turn this down?
be sure we've heard all your wisdom, but how could you not know? We are your mother by default, but we never grow wise or only old. Yes, we're another finding fault. There's just so many ways to say you fucked it up. Don't make claims on your dust, but take full credit for heroes. I say we cordon off the parade where there's caramel apples of discord. Just enough to weed out the issues for roots. Take home. We are your mother by default, but we never grow wise or only old. Watch as the other signs unfold. In so many days, we'll take your place and fuck it up.
Poet surprise! Wow, that was so lovely.
I loved that.
That was
Yeah, that was
so.
awesome.
That was just so pleasant. Yeah, Poet Surprise. Walker, Poet Surprise is a new band? Brand new. Was that your first performance? Hey, give it up for Poet Surprise.
Wow.
Johan, you did nothing. That's right. Good. Okay. Okay. Well, I think I am the most excited about our next guest. He's our main interview guest. He's a UFC fighter. I want to introduce him. We have a video of him. So, ladies and gentlemen, watch this video and check him out in action. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen,
Wow.
Journey Newsom. Thank you for being here. Yes. Welcome. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is incredible. So, you're a UFC fighter,
Yeah.
and this is you're at the top of your form right now.
Right now.
How do you feel about that?
It's pretty good. Getting this UFC contract, it was unreal for sure. But it's the goal for most fighters who want to continue this career and make some money out of it.
And when did you start? When you were like, I'm going to be a fighter?
It was probably around the age of 20 when I started.
Is that late?
No, not really. It depends on how you look at it, right? Your mindset, the mindset of a fighter, and am I too old for this? I didn't really think that at 20, and I certainly don't think it now entering the UFC at 30. So I've been doing this for about 10 years, and I'm glad that we got this far. And I'm just 30. I feel like I'm just now breaking that barrier because I'm 30, but I'm not like, you know, over that hump of 35 and my body's starting to like break down.
Yeah, I am 35.
I'm sorry.
All downhill from here.
36?
Enjoy this last year.
My fighting career is over.
Your fighting
well,
career is
I'm
over.
6'4", and like actually like growing up my whole life, you know, I had like wrestling coaches, I had football coaches, I had people. I had some boxing nut friend of mine was like, "Come on, you're wasting your gift," and I was like, "Theater."
Well, I mean, it's a lot more safer than
This is true. So, but like, okay, so I have a question. Like, you know, UFC, being a fighter, being a professional fighter, is, you know, is it like ballet? Is it like gymnastics where there is sort of this age gap, or like is it sort of like you have to kind of get it early, or are you breaking the mold?
Yeah, it's best to get in early. I look at different videos, especially in Thailand. Their kids are starting at like 5. You know, they started pretty young, and they're not technically just training it, but they're actually like, you know, having 5-year-olds compete with each other. So, and that's pretty young. Obviously, we can all agree that's pretty young to be fighting. But they're starting pretty young, and those little kids are going to be dangerous at the age of like 15 or 16. You know.
Do you think that like where you grow up like matters as far as like, I mean, because isn't Brazil sort of the #1 place you want to be?
Yeah, sort of is. There's a lot of talk with Brazil and how they treat steroids. Obviously, it's banned here, but Brazil kind of looks the other way and doesn't see it as a drug. So they it is a performance enhancer, and that's how they look at it. Not as, oh, I'm cheating. It's, oh, I kind of need this. So I mean, there's really legit fighters out there, really good, but if they got like, you know, tested, it'd be a
Does the UFC
different
test?
story. They do test, and a lot of Brazilians get they get cut from it because they piss dirty or they drug test dirty. So, and my first UFC fight, they actually drug tested me twice, which was weird. I was like, oh, okay. Right before I went out, and then right after. So I'm not too sure what that was about, but obviously I don't.
Racism?
Probably. It wasn't Minnesota.
I'll say
That was a good one.
And like for your how would you describe your fighting style personally?
I will always say Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's what I started out with. I've been doing that for about 12 years now. I like boxing, and obviously from that video, I'm really good at my stand-up. But just the craft of Jiu-Jitsu, the fundamentals of it, you're not really, it's just like wrestling. You know, you've wrestled before, and
No,
you're
I
not,
haven't wrestled.
He was approached.
I was approached.
Okay.
I was recruited. They're like, please. I was
let's,
like, no.
okay, we'll pretend that you're a wrestler.
Okay.
You know, there's no fist involved. You know, you're just grappling, having some fun, wrestling. It's not like boxing where everything is kind of stressful and you're worried about a hit or anything. Like when you're just rolling, is what we call it in jiu-jitsu, rolling. It's the same as wrestling, but I'm in jiu-jitsu mode now, so I'm gonna say rolling. But yeah, when you're rolling, you know, you're not really thinking. You're thinking of moves. It's kind of like a game of tag. My good friend of mine described it to me as a game of tag, and it made pretty good sense. Like I'm tagging you, he's tagging me. I'm basically submitting you with a choke. He submits me with an armbar. Oh, you're it. Oh, you're it. Back and forth for like 5 minutes, and that's the beauty of it. And it's pretty fun, and it's like it takes away the stress. If you're having a long, rough day of stress, that takes it all away, and it's nice. So I will always say that what kind of fighter I am is definitely Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, even though I have dominant hands.
When you dominant hand. When you said your stand-up was good, can you explain that? Because you know we have a different idea of what stand-up is.
Oh yeah, I'm
you know?
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm at my gym, and everybody already knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, stand-up is just a different way of saying kickboxing or
Gotcha.
boxing,
Okay.
basically.
What gym are you involved in here?
I train at Beaverton Impact.
Shout out.
Yeah, Beaverton.
Are you like the big man on campus right now at that place?
Right now, yes, we do have a few other fighters. 2 more pros and a couple of amateurs on our roster as well. I am the one who's gotten the farthest, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm better. I always try to stay humble with that because my teammates are the ones that got me here.
Yes. Yes. So you had your first fight in the UFC, and then you were injured, correct?
Yeah.
What was
I
the
had
injury?
no idea how that injury happened. So in that fight, my meniscus, medial meniscus, for a doctor's terms, was torn. So I had to get at least 20-30% of it taken out. Which, I mean, for the big part of it, if you look at it, a knee replacement sucks. Like LCL, MCL, those are like serious injuries. So for a medial meniscus to be torn, it wasn't as bad. It's like it's a minor surgery for your knee. So I thought of it as, okay, this is 10 years in. This is like the worst injury I've had, and it's not even that bad. It's 6 to 8 weeks of recovery time, that's kind of how it's been. It's like we're on our 9th week now, so now we're just getting back into the groove of training.
And what was the UFC's response to you being injured in the ring?
They hopped on the phone pretty quickly, which was nice because you don't get that with a lot of the other organizations that are lower than the UFC. They called me, set up all the appointments. I did nothing except for just go to the appointments, which was really nice. You know, they set everything up. They chose a pretty good doctor.
They just like supported you, and they're like, you're our athlete, and we're going to take care of you. And this is something I think is very phenomenal. Whereas like other athletes or other places, college athletes, the WWE, like if you get injured, it's like you're just cut to dry, you know.
Yeah, and it's for WWE. I mean, obviously they make way more money than we do. They're like in the millions for sure. Obviously,
if you're The Rock.
If you're The Rock, yeah.
If you get a knee injury,
Johnson.
like you're nobody.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So he's that company, WWE, is a lot more bigger than us within the UFC. So they do pay fighters enough for them to get their own surgery or whatever. But like you said, there are companies lower than that don't treat their fighters, they don't pay their fighters, and these are people who, you know, are consciously saying, hey, I want to fight, and I'm doing this. I'm a performer. I'm performing for your show. I'm making you money, but then, you know, they don't get any of that money, which kind of sucks. A lot of amateurs don't get paid, especially in Oregon, which kind of sucks because about 5.
Why Oregon?
I think it's pretty much maybe everywhere. I don't want to technically say everywhere because maybe there are some spots that do pay $100. But yeah, $100 is not enough. And then the Roseland Theater. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with the Roseland Theater. They have a
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Roseland Theater. Yeah. So they have a FCFF card, Full Contact Fighting Federation, and they do that at the Roseland Theater. And they don't pay their fighters, their amateur fighters, and they don't. They only cover $10,000 for insurance. So it's not as much, especially if you get, you know, your knee injured more than just a medial meniscus. It's pretty bad. So it would be awesome if they did start paying fighters the bare minimum at least like $500 and up that scale of insurance like $1,500. But it's, you know, promoters.
Are you listening? Get on it.
Promoters,
okay, so
yeah.
I want to switch to, so who is a fighter that you looked up to that you were like, that's who I want to be, or maybe it's a fighter that inspired you to start training in this craft?
So the one fighter who for sure inspired me was George St. Pierre. Does that name sound familiar?
Canadian!
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he is Canadian, huh? Yeah, so...
And he's a very noble man, it seems like.
That was another thing, too. He was pretty noble. He was really humble. And the way he won fights was strategically. It wasn't all, I'm big and I can throw pretty hard. And it wasn't always about submissions. He knew his opponent. He knew his weaknesses. And even if he didn't know his weaknesses, his opponent would show a weakness inside that cage, and he would just try to develop off of that, which was, you know, amazing. How can someone do that at such a high intensity of stress in their mind and still be able to think okay, this isn't working and I got to switch it up. So he was always the first person who's got me into it. And now, because he's retired, there is yeah, I know. Boo. Well, he's like 30.
He's 35. He's washed up.
He's 36. So, yeah, now it's Demetrius Johnson, who's a fighter that's close to my weight, and he actually lives up in Seattle. He's making quite a name for himself with a record of 30 wins and 3 losses. Damn. Yeah, 30 wins and 3 losses. And he's not in the UFC anymore. They switched him to one championship, which is in Japan. They're probably paying him double what he got in the UFC, but he holds the record for most title defenses, and that's at 11. 11 title defenses. Yeah, big hand for that. Does anybody know Anderson Silva?
Anderson Silva, yes! He's a legend. Well, because I'm kind of like a fair weather UFC fan. I enjoy it a lot, but I'm not following it. I'm into it. But Anderson Silva, back in the day was definitely who I was like, this guy is insane. He is just like absolutely technically perfect. And I really want to know what you think about Anderson Silva.
Yeah, in his prime, he was really good. His striking was more than 100% accuracy. His knowledge inside the cage.
Not humble, though.
Yeah, not at the end of his career. Yeah, in his career, he was kind of a douche, and what goes around comes around, because that dude from New York, Chris Weidman, knocked him out.
Is that where he broke his leg?
And then broke his leg because they fought twice, and he threw a kick to his leg, and what is called for Muay Thai is a check kick. When someone throws a kick, you kind of just lift up your leg so you could check it with your shin. And that literally, when he threw that kick, does anybody, you kind of remember that? When he threw that kick, his whole leg bent over. Yeah, broke his tibia, his fibula, and I think that's when he retired.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done, yeah.
You're done after that, kid.
Well, so, okay, I'm switching gears again. So you hear about all of these, you're a professional fighter, okay?
Yes.
And so if you were to go to Forest Park and you hear about all these, like a cougar attacks a man, do you think you could beat a cougar?
Journey Newson fights a cougar.
Journey Newson. Yeah, I would never fight a cougar.
But what if... Hey, give it up. Okay.
I'm smart.
Before we get out of here, we are going to play a game. We're going to play a game with Hannah, with Journey. I'd like to invite an audience member to come up and play the game with you. You could win a prize. Is there an audience member who'd like to come up here and play a game with us?
We will be fighting a cougar.
Now!
All right, nobody. Great. Give yourself a round of applause.
Yay!
All right, well, we're going to play a game. This is called Beaten Up or Beaten Off.
It is what you think it is.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to be showing you pictures zoomed in on somebody being beaten up or somebody beating off. And audience, you can play along with, the band you can play with, and then whoever wins between Hannah and Journey and the audience wins all the points. All right. Can we get slide number 1, the beaten up and beaten off? What is this?
Oh, my.
What do you think?
That's beaten up.
Beaten up, audience? Yeah. Beaten up. What is it? It's beaten up.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Who is that? Do you know who that is?
Who is that? I don't know.
Okay, not important.
idea.
Yeah, not important.
Some
Okay,
bum.
next slide. Beaten up, beaten off. What is
Beating off.
beating
yeah,
off?
for
Beating
sure.
off? Beating off? Beating off? What do you think, Journey?
We'll say beaten off.
Beaten off. All right. It is beating off. Yes. He has some help.
Is like his dad watching him?
Looks like his dad's
Seems like
encouraging him.
All right, next slide. Beaten
can
up
do
or beaten
some-
off. What do we got here?
Ooh, I'm tired.
Hannah?
I say
We'll say-
beating up.
Beating up?
We'll say she's a female. We'll say beaten up. Yeah.
Beaten up? Hey, they can beat off too.
That's true. Not with that
Yeah.
facial expression. Not
All right,
that
what is
facial
the answer
expression.
it says? Beaten
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, great. Next
Yay.
slide. Okay, next slide. Beaten up, beaten off. What do we think?
Oh, who's
Audience?
that? Who's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it?
That's beaten up.
Beaten up, beaten up. What do we got? Beaten up.
Oh, yeah.
Ronda Rousey.
Ooh.
All right, moving right.
Oh, right to the
along.
face.
All right, next slide. What do we got over here? Beaten off. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, beating on it. She's into it, for sure.
Yeah.
What do we got? What do we got?
Yeah.
Beaten off. Yes, yes. Wow.
Oh,
Before
different.
and after and during. Okay. Okay. Next slide. Next slide. What do we got here? This is.
That's a toughie.
I say beating up.
Beating up.
Oh, that's a toughie. Yeah, it looks like he has a stiffy. We'll say beating off? Beating off?
What do you think,
beating off.
audience? What do you think? Beaten
Off?
off.
We'll say beaten off.
That's what I look like. It is. All right. What is it? Survey says. Oh.
His body is a wonderland.
That is beating
That's
up.
John Mayer.
Okay, last slide. What do we got here? Beaten up or beaten off?
This is 100% beating off. I was not
that
sure
you?
about any of that. 100% beating off, for
What is it? Survey
sure.
says?
That was me beating off, for sure.
Beating
Okay.
up. It's Jerry. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jerry Newsom. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Hey, guys.
Hey, keep it going for Jerry Newsom. Man, that went so well. I want to fight. I'm just kidding.
Me too.
Okay.
You only have 1 year to do it.
I know, I gotta get to it. Well, wow, that was so great. I loved that interview, and I'm gonna love this stand-up even more. Willamette Week right here voted funniest person. Give a big warm round of applause to Ben Harkins.
Hey, how we doing? All right, good. Did you ask me what's up? What's up? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing about as good as you guys. I guess I should say something about myself. I don't know. I always go to the Dollar Tree before I go to a movie. Do you guys know that trick? Yeah, I always go to the Dollar Tree before I go to the movie, because if you go to the movie theater, that's like spend $12 on snacks. That's popcorn and a drink. But if you go to the Dollar Tree and you spend $12 on snacks, you got to be out of your fucking mind. Like that. I show up earlier to movies now just to spend more time in the Dollar Tree. That's how attached I got. There's something peaceful about spending time just surrounded by like a ton of cheap shit, and just knowing that in this place, nobody can buy anything more expensive than me. Like it's the only place that's like that. Like, you can really leave your shame at the door in the Dollar Tree. Nobody even bothers to cover their mouth when they cough in the Dollar Tree. I can walk around a Dollar Tree with items in my hand, just coughing and talking out loud to no one, and nobody even looks at me. I had like scissors in my hands. I'm just like, wow, they have like 2 different kinds of scissors here in the Dollar Tree. I wonder which one is almost worth $1. It can only be one. It has to be. The Dollar Tree got a lot bigger in my lifetime. There, like, it used to just be a little brick in a mini mall. You could buy some decorations or whatever, and now they have a whole kitchen section. It's a big place. Like, you can buy a kitchen knife, you can buy a box of matches, you can buy a mask and gloves and a Bible, all of these horrible things together for the price of a cheeseburger. And that option is always available to everyone you've ever met. Like, you could walk into a Taco Bell and work there for 1 hour and quit. Take your earnings to the Dollar Tree and get famous the wrong way. And that option is always available to everyone, you know? Keeps me awake at night, you know, like bargains like that. I used to date a witch. Used to live with a witch, and she used to wake me up doing witch shit at 3 in the morning, which is the witching hour. And that is something that you learn after you move in. And she would wake me up at 3 in the morning, and I would just be like, hey, I'm doing a seance. I'm gonna be contacting ghosts, just so you know. And I'd be like, what? Cool. Because you know, I'm a 30-year-old man. I'm not worried about ghosts. You know, I have emotional problems. I have things that I'm working on. The ghosts have been here the whole time, I'm sure. I can handle a door that shuts itself. But I can't have like unattended sage. You know, did she blow out the black candles before she came in here? Fire hazards, no way. So we broke up. And whenever a relationship ends and you have to like move into a new living situation, you sort of shed your skin and become sort of the shitty and reckless person that you were before you met. And so I kind of did that for a while. When I was with a partner, like living in an apartment, I used to wake up early in the morning just to bake bread. I'd be like, wow, like a sun like is rising, like day is being born. Like what better time than now to practice a craft? And now that I live alone in a room, I don't do, that man is ashes now. I wake up and I'm just like, wow, so nobody's looking. SpaghettiOs and acid, again. Worked. All right, guys, that's been my time. Thank you so much.
Ben Harkins! Give it up for Ben Harkins!
Hey, what's up?
Hey, take a seat. Ben Harkins. Great. Hey, thank you
Great
so
to
much
be
for
here.
coming to this show. This is your repeat time at Late Night Special.
Oh yeah, this is the second time I've been here, and I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. You think you should come back for a third time? Your adoring fans. So, okay, things have changed for you overnight. You are on the face of every free newspaper.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great, and nobody can recognize me with all that.
I know. Who did this? Who?
We're kind of like, we're going to do like a yearbook theme this year, so we want to do like a bit of a graffiti thing. We're going to be like a defaced thing. I was like, can I be the devil? That'd be cool. And then they kind of went overkill with the teeth.
How could they? Yeah. Well, so what has it done for you? What's going on? What's next?
I headlined Revolution Hall, and I'm going to do it again in February.
Woo!
Yeah. What date in February?
I should have known that before I mentioned it. But it's for a charity. Look for a charity for Alzheimer's that's coming up at Revolution Hall. And I could left my phone in the green room, so we're not going
Great.
to get it done.
So you said that you wanted to be the devil. Are you into the devil?
Yeah, I like devil shit.
I
you
know.
know, yeah.
Like lately, I've kind of been into Satan.
Yeah. All he ever wanted to do in the Bible was to just get women to eat healthy and get an education. You know?
This conversation is taking a turn.
I must have missed that part in the Bible. I
I'm
don't
into
remember that.
Satan.
That's the Garden of Eden. He's just like,
Yeah.
hey, Eve,
Oh,
how you doing?
okay.
You want to eat this apple and get smart? I don't know. It's cool. He's a cool guy. Jesus was in the desert and he was like starving for days because he was trying to like meditate and stuff. And Satan was just like, hey man, you should eat something. I don't think your dad has your best interests at heart here. It's a real thing. He's actually a chill dude.
Jesus was trying to cleanse, man. It's just like just the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the next big thing is the charity ball, sometime in February. What else is going on, Ben?
Well, I have my show Dark Web Tonight at Kickstand where I show clips from the internet, and I have my friends come up and I show them all of these horrible things that I find on the internet. I love curating videos from the internet. So,
They're like, I've been to a show, they're like videos like where people like hurt themselves really horribly.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Fail Army?
yeah, like
Sort of like that.
failing.
The best video is where somebody just deserved it with their own hubris.
They
There
flew
is,
too close to the sun.
There's one that's pretty literally this, where a guy has a fan car, and a fan car is like a big fan with a parachute behind it and wheels. And you drive it, and the parachute picks up the wind, and you can fly that way. And he did it in a field there there's one van parked in an enormous field, and he starts going, and you're like, oh boy, is he gonna get in the air? Wow, he's flying, and he's gonna hit the one thing.
So when is that show, The Dark Web?
It's on December 20th. It's every third Friday at Kickstand.
Every third Friday at Kickstand. Shout out. Now, so something that I've always admired in you, Ben, is I think you have the deepest voice of anyone that I know.
Oh, okay.
Personally.
Cool. It's not that deep. Well,
It's
okay,
pretty deep.
okay, you guys, all right. Maybe I'm not self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you hear your own voice differently in your own
Yeah.
skull.
Yeah, I just sound normal. I think I do. I don't know what you're talking
So
about. Why are people laughing? What's happening right now? Fuck you.
So navigating the world of the deep voice, how has that been?
Do people treat you differently?
Yeah, I mean, have you experienced prejudice?
Well, when I walk up to a crisis, and I just say, what's going on? People tell me exactly what's going on. They look to me.
I think that's the beard.
There's something about just my presence where people know that I can take control in a crisis, I think.
I mean, you do have a very calm demeanor and a low voice.
Yeah.
I mean, as a tall person, a lot of times people think I'm in charge.
Yeah.
And one time I was an extra on a set. I was like nobody.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, "Where do these go?" And I was like, "I don't know." And they're like, "I thought you were the director." And I was like, "I'm no one."
I really cannot relate to either of those experiences. For me, it's when I am the boss, people are like, they don't know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's I'm the boss a lot. I'm
You have
the
to
fucking
actually
boss.
remind them.
Yeah, I'm I'm your boss, bitch. Yeah.
All you have to do
you
is
can
take
always
something
be my
away from
boss.
them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would be honored if you were my boss.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay,
give it up for Hannah
thank
Kim.
you. Yeah.
All right, last thoughts, Ben Harkins.
Just hope everybody's drinking enough water out there. It's dark all the time, and winter is pretty weird.
And hail Satan.
Satan.
Hey, give it up for Ben Harkins. Thank you. All right, we are going to bring our musical guests back to the stage. They're going to close us out. This has been a fantastic show. I want to thank everyone for being here. I really want to thank Hannah Kim for being my co-host. Do you have any last things to say? Yeah, give it up for Hannah. Go find her. She's selling her zine. It will give you faith in heterosexual relationships?
No.
No. Okay, good.
Not do
Wow. Okay. Good. All right. Anything else you want to say?
Things are pretty bleak right now. In my life, in our society. Yep.
Okay.
And that is.
Go hug a kid.
All right. Well, to play us out and to serenade us and give us some more hope and some more beauty in this world, give a big warm round of applause to Poet Surprise.
Thanks. This one's about negative self-talk. Can I call on you to make love? Can we talk about the tendency to hold on to a future we control? She'll jump inside my head, ever ready at the goal. Is it malicious or kind? Your little gatekeeper of the mind. When they call in, trapped in time, give me room to grow into the light. That the garden's gonna be alright. She'll jump inside my head, never ready for the blow, but I'm committed to find a little faith they will provide, where the curtains can unwind. Give me room to move into the light, so the garden's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright.
If you're interested in the zine, go buy it. Hey, drive safe. Thank you. Have a good night. Good night.
Good night.